Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. How are you on this beautiful Monday afternoon? Mwah. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you had a wonderful Sunday afternoon after we departed yesterday. And looking week, the 8th day of June 2020, and you are watching Omega Live with JJ One Without Borders. Thank you for coming onto YouTube to spend the next hour with me. Lots of information to give you guys. Remember to like, click, and share, okay? And to subscribe to Omega News. Thank you for my subscription. I appreciate every single one of you subscribers out there, okay? Remember, guys, that I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Omega News JA, where you can go like and comment, okay? Absolutely. So, guys, I have a full program for you today, so I'm not going to waste any time. Lots of information to give to you. Yeah, lots of things going on as usual, in our country and internationally. And as a woman without borders, I have to give you international news too, right? So, um, let me see. Of course, I'm going to start with my COVID-19 news, of course. For those who are visiting with me for the very first time, a special welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. Share the link with your friends and family and let them come and watch also. Okay, absolutely. And if they can't watch now, the program is being recorded, so you can always catch the replay. Absolutely. So, for those of you who have been with me for a while, I give you my story and then I give you my 2 cents. Yeah. So here goes. So Jamaica now has 598 confirmed cases of the coronavirus disease COVID-19, according to a press release issued by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The two new cases are a 26-year-old female from St. Catherine who works at the Alarica call center and a 35-year-old female who came in from New York under the government-controlled re-entry program. Yeah. Mhm. Meanwhile, one patient has also recovered, bringing the total number of recoveries to 405. Yeah. And before I give my big data to my big data people, I have to make a comment on these two new cases, guys. Yeah, I have to comment. I'm opinionated, and that's why you're here, right? To hear my comment. All right. First of all, what date is today, guys? Hmm? Do you realize? Has anybody be taking note and realize that the first case of Alarico was in April? You realize that, guys? It was in April, beginning of April, around about the same date as today, in April. That's exactly 2 months ago, yeah? 2 months ago, guys. Now, did you hear what I just said to you? I said that one of the new two confirmed cases of the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an employee of the Alarico call center. How is that possible, guys? 2 months later. Hmm. I'll leave you to think about that. And then, of course, the other one is a female who came in from New York. Remember those two flights? One came in from Florida and the other one came in from New York, from the JFK. Yeah, so those two flights came in, and the one that came in from New York, another person has been confirmed with the COVID-19. Okay. We have not heard what has been happening with the samples for those persons who have been coming in since, because since Monday, flights have been coming in with Jamaicans from the United States of America and elsewhere. You know that, right? We have 2 flights per day. I told you that before in my previous broadcast. We have 2 flights per day and one at midday for our Jamaicans in the Caribbean. Yeah, but we are also told most of those islands in the Caribbean they will not be tested when they come in. Well, actually, that is for the visitors, not for our Jamaicans. Our Jamaicans will be tested coming in. The visitors who come in from it after June 15th in the travel bubble will not be tested. And of course, there's a lot of um, um, outcry about that. I gave you a story yesterday about the MAJ, what they said, and others. Yeah. So, anyways, continue with the news with the big data. data for those, data. All right. The total number of samples to date is 14,586 with 13,954 testing negative, and as I said, 598 testing positive. We now have 405 recoveries, as mentioned before. Numbers of contacts of confirmed cases is still 218. But now our Alarica case has gone up to 236 as a result of this new confirmed case in Alarica. So now the number is 236. Of course, because of this imported case, our imported case number has gone up to 97. Yes, it's inching its way slowly towards that 100 mark. Yeah. Now we have 97 imported cases. Local transmission is still 27 and still 20 under investigation. As a result of the fact that the two new cases are females, our total females now are 343, with our males still on 255. So the previous samples that was tested for these numbers was 363, with 34 still pending. So we still have 34 samples that are still pending. Now, this is an interesting data that I'm going to give to you guys. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness's press release, there are only 42 persons that are in government quarantine and only 180 who are in isolation. Combined, that is what, 222 persons, guys? So what happened to all the other persons who were in isolation and in government current quarantine? I don't understand. We're not given that information. What happened to those people? Are they at home? That because the isolation, guys, it's 118 isolation that also includes those who are in home isolation, right? According to their data. So my question is, what happened to all those hundreds of people? Where are they? Where the information concerning them? What's going on here? And this information that I'm giving you is as at 5 p.m. yesterday, Sunday. The information is quote unquote accurate up until that time, 5 p.m. yesterday. We now have 27 persons now in the hospital. So the number of persons in the hospital has increased, and still 2 persons who are critically ill. Okay, so that's basically my information for my big data people. Continuing the news, guys. So this today, the headline of the Gleaner on it, gruesome, big headline, gruesome. It says, family stunned at the grisly murders involving soldier, boyfriend, and infant. Then on the left-hand side of the same headline, guys, it says, PM, and there's a colon, PMP killed prison offer. Yeah. So let me give you the first one, and then I'll give you the second one. 1 second. I have to always be deleting and then because my phone is not, no, it's the memory is just full, and I can't do anything about it because I've deleted. And unless I take off my WhatsApp, which I can't take off my WhatsApp. Unless I take off my WhatsApp, I don't have any memory. Yeah, so I have to keep on deleting. But anyways, yeah, here's the story now, guys. And I'm not giving you all of it. I'm giving you the most of it so you can get the gist of it, right? So I can give my 2 cents of it. Yeah, so an army tag with the words "Love Tyler Forever," said to be the property of the Jamaica Defence Force graduate Lexton Clayton, was the sole evidence found by a relative confirming fears the military woman had met her demise. The bodies of Clayton, 22, who had not been seen since early Saturday, her 2-year-old son Tyler, and the child's father, 28-year-old Kimani Taylor, were all found burnt beyond recognition yesterday. That's Sunday, right? June 7th, 2020. The charred remains were discovered deep in bushes near Pear Tree River in Port Marant, that's in the parish of St. Thomas, right? An autopsy is to be done to determine the cause of death. Family, friends, and curious onlookers journeyed to the remote location yesterday to get a glimpse, and though grief stricken, those who knew the couple well spoke unkindly of Kimani Taylor, a security guard. The couple's relationship was said to be turbulent. Everton Elliot, Clayton's stepfather, who raised her since she was 2 years old, was angry, not just about her death, but because he had remained quiet even when he saw the red flags. Quoting him, the man having planned a long time. News of the tragedy was relayed to Elliot on his return from his farm yesterday. A resident who requested anonymity said that he had a day earlier seen a man believed to be Taylor pull up along the roadway and roll what appeared to be tires into bushes. There are also theories that Taylor may have been trying to rid himself of young Tyler, allegedly offering a woman in the area money to take the infant. According to the person, she said, Saturday, him come with money and I say to keep the baby. And the girl say, no man. Yeah, gruesome indeed, guys. 3 bodies burned to death. I have spoken against domestic violence yesterday on the program and before I have been doing it. But the thing about this story, guys, is my comment on this. It's a developing for me. For me, this is a developing story. It is not a story that I can give extensive commentary on. You understand? There are 3 stories. There's the Star carries the story. It's a different story. The Jamaica Observer carried the story. It's a different story, and the Gleaner carried the story. It's a different. There's 3 different versions of the same story, guys. I tell you about information, misinformation, and all that, right? In addition to all of that, they said dead man tell no tales, but the autopsy has not been done to determine the cause of death of all 3 bodies, right? All 3 persons. The point is, guys, that at this point in time, it's speculation that it is murder suicide. Yeah, it is speculation because all 3 persons are dead, right? And burnt to a crisp, according to the news, right? They were burnt beyond recognition. It's only the dog tag, what they call the dog tag that she wears. The soldiers usually have a dog tag. That is what they took to recognize that it was her, right? So we really don't know. It's supposition, and we're making assumptions and presumptions at this point, right? We don't really have the facts as yet. So until I have the facts, because who says it's not a 4th person out there who doused all of them with maybe gasoline or whatever else and burned into a crisp? Who knows? Who says it is actually suicide? Murder suicide. We don't know. At this point in time, it's too early to say. We're just making assumptions here. I don't make assumptions. I don't like assumptions at all. So I'm going to reserve my 2 cents on this story, guys, until I have more information to give to you concerning what actually transpired here, right? Yeah. All right. So to continue with the other story now, um, that I want to give to you. So, hmm. Nearly 5 years after Britain's Cameron administration offered to part finance a new penal facility in Jamaica, the Holness government has announced that it will fund the construction of a state-of-the-art prison out of pocket. The declaration was made on Saturday by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang during a tour of 4 police lockups in Area 4 alongside Commissioner of Police Anthony Anderson and Minister without Portfolio Matthew Samuda, the Honorable Matthew Samuda. Prime Minister the Honorable Andrew Holness revealed during a press briefing last Friday that a proposal for a new prison was currently on the table, but he declined to go into details. Dr. Chang said that the project would be funded by the Jamaican government in order to maintain the island's cultural imperative, adding that the government considered security its primary responsibility. Quoting him, we have some very valued partners in the national area, but unless we do work with the foundation, with our resources, our manner, and in our culture, we will not succeed in the long term. There was a proposal at one point for a prison from an international partner that we did not accept. We are looking at doing this with Jamaican financing and Jamaican personnel, Dr. Chang said. Listen to the story carefully, guys. I'm giving it to you full. Dr. Chan's reference to culture might telegraph the unease caused by the controversial offer by the United Kingdom Prime Minister David Cameron to part fund construction of a prison here. It touched a nerve with social cultural currents of chattel slavery, complicated by the narrative of Britain as colonizer turned benefactor. Under the non-binding prison agreement struck with the Portia Simpson Miller administration, Jamaica would fund 60% of the prison construction cost. The British would provide $5.5 billion. So that means $5.5 billion, guys, is 40% of the cost to build this prison. Yeah. As part of the deal, 300 Jamaicans serving time in the UK for crimes committed there would complete the winding up of their sentences in Jamaica. While noting that the development of the proposed prison was still in its embryonic stages, Chang declined to divulge a working estimate for the build-out of the facility. But we can use our brain that God gives to us, right? And we understand that based on what was said, all of this is going to cost approximately $12 million, yeah, give or take. I mean, billion, not million, sorry. $12 billion with a B, yeah, give or take, yeah. Mhm. Continuing, he conceded, however, that the budgetary cuts triggered by the coronavirus caused slowdown in commerce would alter the timeline for implementation. And make sure to add on a little piece there because the red flags go up and people are saying, right? Okay. Dr. Chang told the Gleaner that one of the challenges the new maximum security facility would have to address was a failure of the security architecture to blunt the influence of criminal dons, who he said continue to wield outsized power beyond prison walls. He hinted that cell phone signal blocking devices and other initiatives had failed to halt communication between powerful gangsters and the underworld. Quoting him, he said, "It is known that men in incarceration will get access to cell phones and they direct the operation from inside the prison from time to time. We are taking steps to correct that now, but the new prison will have to have that kind of facility. We need a maximum security prison where we can lock up a number of the leaders safe and away from their contacts and prevent them from investing and cheating outside." He should know, shouldn't he? The minister also said that a new prison would have to better accommodate inmates classified as low risk to safeguard against them becoming hard criminals. He said that the government had not yet settled on the proposed penal center's capacity, but disclosed that, quote, "we will have somewhere that can comfortably host more than 1,000, more like 2,000, end quote. In the meantime, the minister said that the works had been completed on the majority of police stations slated to be reconstructed as a part of the ministry's construction and improvement of police buildings initiative, despite budgetary constraints caused by COVID-19. Dr. Chang said that as part of the government's plan to improve working conditions for the police, more than 100 stations had been renovated and approximately 25 are still under repair. He further disclosed that the coronavirus restrictions had only impacted the construction of two major projects, one that was to be built in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, and the other in Westmoreland. Meanwhile, I am going to give you the full statement of the Prime Minister. I promised you, right, that I'm going to give you the full statement of the Prime Minister. Okay. Remember what I just said a while ago. Remember what I just read to you a while ago. Now I'm going to give you the Prime Minister's full statement. Okay. In 2015, this is the Prime Minister speaking, the Guardian newspaper in the UK reported that the then PNP administration signed an MOU with the government of the United Kingdom to build a prison in Jamaica as part of a wider prisoner transfer program. This became a matter discussed widely in the public and in the Parliament of Jamaica. I remember because I was discussing too. I was one of the persons in the public who was discussing it. Okay. As leader of the opposition then, I opposed the prisoner transfer proposal and the notion of partnering with the UK to build prisons. It was my view that given the context of our historical relationship, building schools or some other venture of that nature would be more uplifting and meaningful for Jamaica. Of lesser importance, but still considered in our position, the financial details did not make sense to us. This was a view shared by many Jamaicans. Even the PNPYO wrote publicly urging the PNP to reject the MOU. Given the overwhelming public opposition to the offer formalized in the MOU, the PNP apparently backed away. Listen to the wording, of the statement from the Prime Minister. The PNP apparently backed away from the deal, saying they did not sign an MOU. They did not make it a part of their 2016 election campaign. In fact, the then Minister of National Security promised in a statement to Parliament that he would set up a special select committee to oversee the MOU. There was, however, never any report of their work in this regard. Guys, remember, this happened in 2015 and the election was in 2016. Bear it in mind, timeline is very important. Listen carefully. Okay. From the known actions of the PNP or lack thereof, one could conclude that the PNP had in fact rejected the 2015 offer set out in the MOU and is accorded with our opposition as the opposition at the time. After the Jamaica Labour Party won the election in 2016, certain statements were made in the press indicating that the 2015 offer was still available and probes were made around the subject. I cannot speak for what the PNP accepts as an offer between governments. However, the standard of this government is that statements in the press or general discussions, even with ministry officials, do not amount to offers between countries. When asked by PNP Senator Lambert Brown if we were aware of an offer from the UK government to assist Jamaica in building a maximum security prison to which some Jamaican nationals now incarcerated in the UK prisons may be transferred to complete their sentence, the answer provided by Minister Johnson Smith was yes, an MOU was signed under the last PNP administration. The inactive 2015 offer to which Minister Johnson referred was the only offer of which we were and are aware. There was no engagement of the bilateral process to renew or reopen the offer, and certainly there was no new offer or MOU before us to consider. We inherited a matter that was not pursued by the former PNP administration and for which we had previously declared that we would not ourselves pursue. As Minister Johnson Smith said when asked about negotiations, her response was, the matter is closed. From my perspective, and for all intents and purposes, the offer was effectively already rejected by the PNP during their term. When the issue was raised to our ministers, they reaffirmed the position was held in opposition that the 2015 offer and MOU should be rejected. Let me repeat that sentence. When the issue was raised to our minister, they reaffirmed the position we held in opposition that the 2015 offer and MOU should be rejected. So that there is no doubt if a new offer were made to build a prison and accept prisoner exchanges, given the historical context of the relationship with the UK, I would still maintain my position that Jamaica would be better served building better schools, as that would certainly obviate the need to build prisons. Should I repeat that sentence, guys? This whole saga is particularly disturbing. This is the Prime Minister speaking. Is the PNP and their operatives arguing that if they were government today, they would have reopened the MOU and accepted it? Were they planning to trick the electorate in 2016 by pretending to walk away from the MOU only to resurrect it if they had won? If the PNP and their agents are arguing that the conditions of prison today is a result of the JLP government not pursuing the offer, then they must also tell the nation what they did to advance the building of the prison under the deal between September 2015 and February 2016, since the offer was still alive to them. These are questions that require definitive answers from the PNP. The conditions in our prisons are in need of urgent attention. They pose a human dignity challenge to the conscience of our society. We have made allocations in our budget to address some of the infrastructure issues in correctional institutions. When 4 years after, Anyways, let me continue. The fall off in economic activity due to the COVID-19 pandemic has caused us to revise down these projected expenditure allocations. Nevertheless, government is committed to improving the conditions of our prisons, and as our economy recovers, we will increase our spending to ensure the human rights and dignity of all Jamaicans. We are also exploring several other options to facilitate capital investment in our prison infrastructure. As a politically independent people, listen to this, guys. As a politically independent people, we must truly take on the independence mindset. The means to do this comes through building our economic power and always having a clear vision as to the priorities that are in our best interest. End quote. That is the full statement from the Prime Minister. This is my 2 cents. And you don't have to agree with me, guys. Nothing I say you have to agree with, but I would love to see some comments. I would love some of you to comment on this story, seriously, whether what you've heard so far, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents, and even on my 2 cents, I want you to comment on it, guys. Give me your views. It can be an opposing view. It doesn't matter to me, because 7 brothers, 7 different minds. We don't all have to agree. You understand? But I want to hear your comment, guys. Now, here's my 2 cents on this story. First of all, I want to say to our Prime Minister, it is disingenuous for you to say, sir, and I'm going to quote him, and you heard me say it, just to be clear, right? He said it. He said, just to be clear, I was not the government at the time when the offer was rejected. Just to be clear, he repeated it again, the just to be clear, you understand? For emphasis, right? For emphasis. He said, just to be clear, I repeat it again, just to be clear, I was not the government at the time when the offer was rejected. But in the same breath, in that same breath, guys, he went on to say, when the issue was raised to our ministers, they reaffirmed, you know what reaffirm means, right? They reaffirmed the position we held in opposition. What was the position that we held in opposition in 2015? That the 2015 offer of MOU should be rejected. That's what he said. The offer should be rejected. And they were very vocal about it, guys. I tell you guys to watch Parliament, you know. You understand? You guys have to watch Parliament. You guys cannot just sit down and let these people tell us things and push things down our throats. You understand? We have to hear it from the horse's mouth and watch them in Parliament. Because they think that we have shallow memories. You understand? And they come and they tell us these different stories all the time. And we are so gullible, they think. You understand? Because they try to keep us illiterate and unlearned so that they can come and tell us whatever they want to tell us. And we must swallow it. This is nonsense. Okay? You can't do that. Right? So I don't want to call you a liar, but you're not speaking the truth here. Huh? Because you opposed it. You opposed it. You opposed the MOU. You did not want the government to take, right, that money. You did not want them to take that money. So how are you now going to say that the PNP killed the prison offer? When you rejected it and you were you opposed it as an opposition at that time. You opposed receiving that $5.5 billion to help to build that prison system, to build that prison facility. And now you're going to say, oh, you were not the government in power at the time when the offer was rejected. Don't be disingenuous, sir. And now you're saying, okay, so offer was rejected. Now you're saying, okay, you're going to build a prison now, right? Out of your pocket. It had better be out of your own pocket, you know, sir. Not out of taxpayers' pocket at all. So when you say you're going to build this prison out of your pocket, I hope you mean that you're going to build it out of your own pocket and not out of our taxpayer money, right? Not out of our pocket at all. We can't afford for you to build any prison at this point in time, sir. We can't afford it. So when you say you're going to build out of your pocket, I really hope you meant out of your personal pocket. That's where you're going to build it from. And again, you are, flip-flopping here on me. You're confusing me, sir. You're really confusing me here because I don't understand, right? You said, and I'm going to quote what he says, I would still maintain my position. I think what he said, I would still maintain my position from my 2015 position to now 2020 speaking. I would still maintain my position that Jamaica would be better served building better schools, as that would certainly obviate the need to build more prisons. So if you have better school infrastructure and you fix the education system, they don't need to build prisons. So why are you building a prison? So why is it that Dr. Chang is saying that you are planning to build a prison out of your own pocket after you were given $5.5 billion to help to build one, and you opposed it? Yes, you did. You opposed it. And now you want to build one when you yourself said it is better to fix our school system, build schools, than to build prisons. That flip-flopping thing don't work, man. You see, I'll tell you, I have something in common with Snoop Dogg, I don't know if you heard the story. Snoop Dogg, he plans to vote in this general election in the US come November. You understand? And I plan to do likewise. Not in November, because as far as I understand in the Constitution, no, although I'm hearing all this election talk, there's no election due until next year, 2021. Okay? The government, this present government that we have right now, according to the Constitution, it comes to an end next year, February. And so until March 2021 and beyond, for approximately 3 months, that's when you're supposed to be calling an election, and not any time sooner. Right? But I plan to vote in that election. Okay. So I want to say that we're supposed to have four parties, and I give you my spiel on that. Go back into my library and look at my prayer. I tell you what I think about that. We need to have a multi-party government, is what we want. No two-party government election here. Where we gotta get away from that. COVID-19 has changed a lot of things. It changes that the electorate also. We're gonna change how we elect our officials and to represent us. Yeah. No, we don't even have a minister of labor right now. No minister of labor and social security we don't even have, because the one that we had died because we didn't even know she was sick for 2 years. And we elect these people to represent us, and they're not representing us. They're not doing things in our best interest at all. They're doing things for their own agenda, not for our agenda. So I am dying, yes, to see this other party come on board and let us mix it up. Have an election with 4 parties running for the elections, and see who wins and who get what seats or whatever. Let us see. Mix it up, man. Gotta mix it up. Absolutely. You understand? Because this thing can't work. It's kind of a business as usual. One party coming and they promises to this date. I gave you the news yesterday. Go back into my library, guys, and watch yesterday. I told you. To this date, the gentleman run on a platform where he said he would have produced his health records. We didn't ask for it. He volunteered it. And to date, 4 years later, he has not done so. 4 years into, they were there in power for 4 years. It is the fourth. It's come to the 4th year now, from 2016 until now, right? 4 years. And up until now, we have not gotten what was promised. We hear that they're going to do. They have budgeted for the prison system, for the rehabilitation of the prison system. Why wasn't it done while you were in power? And now, when we're gearing towards an election, is when we're going to be allocating funds to fix prison system. If you had done it all along, then the Joint Commando Chamber would probably still be alive. We don't know. Probably will still be alive. You understand? The broken prison system, why the man spent 40 years in jail without a conviction. And as far as I'm concerned, he is innocent. Because the man is innocent until proven guilty, and there was no trial. So you don't even know. You can't call him a murderer because you don't know. So as far as I'm concerned, he's an innocent man. Died in prison at the age of 81 after spending 40 years in a broken system. Fix that system. If we're talking about building new prison system, fix the one that you already have. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. That was my 2 cents. More like 4 cents, right? Lord, Lord. Yeah. And I was supposed to have given this to you yesterday. No, I was supposed to give this to you yesterday. Then, if you agree with me, let me see the thumbs up. Let me see the thumbs up before I agree with what I'm saying here. Because, I mean, seriously, these people, they just take us. I don't know what they take us for, I really don't know what they take us for. But really, they don't think much of us, do they? They really don't think much of us, I can say. Because they do these things and they insult our intelligence all the time and expect that we just swallow these things and swallow and gulp. And, we don't really look into what they're saying and what they're doing and and retaliate if we can. Yeah. Other countries, they do. We don't. Yeah. We just take it. Yeah. Yesterday I was supposed to have given this to you since I'm on the subject of election, and I had promised to give it, and I did not get a chance to do it because we ran out of time. So I'm going to give it to you, just a piece of what was said about this 2-in-1 election. I told you about the local government election and general election, and they keep on doing it, having two separate elections and two different times. Why do they do that? It's beyond me. And so I'm going to give a little piece of what I was reading in the Sunday Gleaner yesterday concerning the subject, right? So, for years, there have been debate on the feasibility of holding both elections together, especially when their due dates fall within a close range, right? But both the ruling Jamaica Labour Party and the opposition People's National Party have steered clear of throwing their weight behind such a proposal. Critics are again calling for the idea to be revisited, citing the dwindling national voting percentages for both over several cycles, the financial benefit to the country, and the health and safety concerns brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic as reasons enough to move forward this time. According to Howard Mitchell, chairman of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal and the immediate past president of the private sector organization of Jamaica, quote, in general, it should have been done all the time. It gives voters a proper perspective on what they are getting and the people who they believe should be working together. I hold that in democracies like ours that are not fully developed, we should allow for the structures for the citizenry to exercise their democratic rights. For him, end quote. For him, local government and national elections should not be held just because they are due, but for real benefits to the citizens and the country. We should be able to judge all at the same time, especially as the low voter turnout goes straight to the credibility of the elections. So present all of them at the same time, and it will reduce much of the noise that passes for campaigning. Anyway, Mitchell said. According to Ellen Davis White, excuse me, the trade unionist, right? I have always felt that they should run simultaneously. First of all, the cost would be considerably less than running two elections. In fact, even issues of referendum should be held at election time. You cannot continue to justify holding local government elections with 25% voter turnout nationally, she argued. It can be done. A change was needed. It can be done and it should be done. And since COVID-19 is not going away anytime soon, it has to be considered now and going forward. End quote. Voter apathy towards general and local government elections has been increasing locally. In the 2016 general election, only 47.7%. Can you listen to this, guys? In 2016 last election, only 47.7% of the 1.82 million registered voters participated in the process. The lowest turnout since 1983, when the PNP boycotted the 93 snap election, municipal election, full stop, sorry. Municipal elections have fared much worse in terms of turnout over several cycles. Not going any further with that, but I wanted to make sure I put that into the mix so I can give that information, guys. You understand? See, they're talking election at this point in time. Yeah. And in any case, also, we don't know where COVID-19 will be come next year. But we can't have an election this year. And also, the Prime Minister himself, unless he's going to flip-flop like he always does, and if he's going to flip-flop, he said that he would not consider calling an election during a pandemic. That's what he said. Yeah. So let us see if he's going to flip flop on that also. But he said no election during a pandemic. And we're in a pandemic right now. That's why we're under the DRMA, the Data Risk Management Act. Yeah. So I don't know what's all this talk about election in this year for when we already know there won't be any while there's a pandemic. So anytime there's a call for election, we will know, guys, that COVID-19 is gone. See ya. Yeah. Okay. And I want to get rid of the story, guys. And I was also reading in this. This is a great one because this is my problem also with our country. We have so many, so we our gross product. We have so many gross products in this country, guys. So many things that can bring in foreign exchange and bring in income into this country. You know that, right? Jamaica is a blessed place with we have pimento, ginger, coconut, sugar, rice. We used to have. I remember when I was growing up, there was rice paddies. We used to have rice paddies in Jamaica. What happened to the rice paddies? No rice paddies. Coffee, the Blue Mountain coffee. We all love the Blue Mountain coffee, don't we? So here's the story now. I have to give you now, guys, about that. Again, I'm not going to give you everything in detail, but giving you enough information because I give you information so you can make informed decisions. All right, so according to the story in the Sunday Gleaner, it says efforts to cobble a deal with a local buyer for about 600,000 pounds of coffee, a buildup of beans for which members of the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, the JCA, otherwise have no takers, have made little progress. Now, with a fresh crop of coffee slated to hit the market in August, the JCA has put an additional proposal on the table. The association is looking to the export market where it hopes to offload at least 10% on its inventory of beans under a sale by sample. The proposal was among points for discussion that the JCA President Norman Grant had with the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA, on Thursday. A sale by sample, according to Grant, can be facilitated based on revised regulations, but would still need a nod from the regulator. Grant, however, did not disclose whether a purchaser had been identified. He said, "We are in dialogue with JACRA about it, but it is at a sensitive stage. They phased the reopening of the economy on June 1st and plans to reopen the borders to international guests on June 15 have lightened the mood for the coffee processors for whom the hotel sector has been a lucrative market. Still, they fear that a real turnaround of the tourism industry might not happen fast enough to quell thoughts of permanent closure for some coffee processors and lowering order quantity from farmers amongst those who will survive the pandemic. According to projections from the JCA, if the processors are unable to sell the inventory by July, it could result in the sale of only 6% of the 2021 crop and would lead to price declines from an average of $5,000 per box to as low as $3,000 per box. I can't believe it. So many coffee drinkers in this country, really, and they have 600,000 pounds of coffee and they can't offload it, guys. I used to drink coffee a lot, too much. My doctors had to take me off drinking coffee because I got heart palpitations because I drank so much coffee at one time. Yeah, so I can't help. Gosh. But we need coffee buyers, guys. We need coffee buyers to buy up our coffee. You understand me? And they should have been, and I hope to see going forward, I hope to see when the government actually, invest some more time and effort into helping our coffee farmers to export their crop. You understand? You know, although you also know that the coffee industry, it has been monopolized by a certain number of families who are the ones who are only allowed to export coffee anyway. So that's another story for another day. This is a good one. I should end the program on that one. I'm gonna end the program on that one, so let me not give it that one yet. That's a nice story to end on. All right, so just another 2 cents. Not another 2 cents, but I'm gonna give you another news here. Good news. Good news. All right, but let me give more good news. Let me give you this one. Bad news for punters. Punters. Okay, so according to Lorna Gooden, the general manager of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited, SVREL, whenever Caymanas Park reopened for racing, punters entering the facility will be required for the first time in 3 years to pay an admission fee. Gooden told the Sunday Gleaner yesterday that this new requirement is meant to help limit the number of persons who enter the facility on race days and is part of the wider protocols that have been established by SVREL and the government aimed at containing the spread of COVID-19. Racing has been on lockdown since March 21st. So, yeah, I'll give it that took a 2 cents right piece right there. Yeah, good news. According to the Bank of Jamaica, economy could grow 5% in fiscal year 2020. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ is projecting that the Jamaican economy could grow by as much as 5.5% in the fiscal year 2022 after a year of 5% contraction. It is a growth rate not seen by the country in recent history, but the central bank says the size of the expansion is determined by the contracted base from which Jamaica is projected to rise. The BOJ's forecast is for growth within a range of 2.5% to 5.5%. The average of that is, of course, 4%, which tracks with the 3.9% growth projected by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, for Jamaica in the fiscal year 2021 to 2022. According to BOJ's Deputy Governor of Research and Economic Programming and Financial Stability, Dr. Wayne Robinson, the projected growth rate does not mean that the economy is buoyant, since even with this growth, the economy will not return in 1 year to the size that obtained prior to COVID-19. But any news like that, we take it as good news. Yeah. Okay. Now, my final piece of local news for you. Yeah. You can almost call it my segue into my international news, because it's kind of international news in a way. Yeah. So, listen to this, guys. Legendary reggae singer Gregory Isaac has left a legacy of songs that perfectly fit into the compartment dedicated to classics. It is one of these anthems that is being celebrated as colleagues of the artist known as the Cool Ruler, and probably because the federal loving Isaacs invented swag, lend their voices to a timely project. This international collective, featuring artists from Jamaica, Ghana, Kenya, Suriname, Nigeria, Brazil, Cape Verde, Poland, USA, Japan, the UK, and Germany, have come together to contribute to a special single and video project showcasing Isaac's biggest hit, Night Nurse. Who don't know Night Nurse? Night Nurse. Everybody know the song, yeah? That was Gregory Isaac's biggest hit. So the project is being spearheaded by his wife, Linda Isaacs, who resides in the UK, right? She's British, you know that, and Kirsten Ull of Germany. They say proceeds from the project are earmarked to assist COVID-19 workers worldwide and entertainers whose livelihoods have been affected by the pandemic. Quoting her, she said, "It is agreed that the benefits of sales, whether by video monetization or by the sales of the single release, will be reserved for funding for musicians and artists in need through COVID-19 times globally." According to Kirsten Hull, publicist for the project, in an interview with the Gleaner, she disclosed that all the artists, that is Papa Michigan, Mr. Vegas, Dr. Cooper, Dorio, Kenny Smythe, Rocky Dawuni, Wire, Megume Mosaku, must be either Nigerian or Ghanaian, right? Gileni, African Simba, Iza, Adonai, and had already voiced their part of the song. The mastering has been done and the video shoot was completed under the coronavirus guidelines. The official release date on the African Museum record label and media is on June 15th, next week, Monday, that this will be released. Yeah. And that, I say, is very good news, right, for our local artists and for artists worldwide, basically, who have been affected by the COVID-19. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Not much to say on that, guys. Really, I'm just saying, it's actually it's actually a good idea, you know. This for a worthy cause. The only other thing I want to say on that though is this. Excuse me, thank you. Sorry about that. And it's not even so much about the story, but I have to put my little 2 cents in that regard because I noticed the news. It keeps saying that Linda Isaacs, that is Gregory Isaacs' wife. My question, I would love to get an answer for, because and the only reason, because I know it has, the only reason is due to the fact that it has implications, it has financial implication and other kind of implication, is the fact that I know I heard June Isaacs. Who remember June Isaacs, right? June Isaacs was a Jamaican, or is a Jamaican, and that is Gregory Isaacs' first wife, right? And as far as we know, I mean, they have been married for a long, 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 long time. And as far as we know, and not only as far as we know, she has said out of her mouth that they have never divorced. She said they have never divorced. They are still married. He's now dead, yes, right? Up until his death, June Isaac said that they were married. So if it is that they were married, did Gregory Isaacs then die as a bigamist? Yeah, because I keep hearing people calling Linda Isaacs and calling him or calling her his wife, right? I know they were living together in the United Kingdom when he died. We know that, but according to June, they were never divorced. So Linda would have been a common law wife, if anything, but they wouldn't have been legally married because that would make him a bigamist, wouldn't it? Interesting. Yeah. Oh, oh, Senator Mitt Romney, guys. Senator Mitt Romney on Sunday joined, is a Republican senator for the United States of America, right? He joined demonstrators marching to the White House um, in protest of the George Floyd's death. Yeah, George Floyd died while in the custody of the Minneapolis police on the 25th of May, sorry, yeah. And so there have been demonstrations worldwide. And you know what it has happened now, guys? It has opened the floodgate of feelings for persons worldwide, where now you're finding, even as far as in Australia, there are demonstrations. What is happening, what they have now done is each country now has been using the incident to demonstrate for their local causes. So, like for example, for the Aborigines who have been for years been taken advantage of, and they've been denied their rights. So now they are now come out in protest. You understand? Using this George Floyd incident now to come and to demonstrate. You understand, against the injustices against Aborigines in their country, and so it goes right across right across the world. Yeah. Uh, I have another story to give you guys, but it's not opening. I need memory. Ah, yeah, it is a story in Guyana. It's a story in Guyana I wanted to give you guys. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, I can get it. Um, it's not downloading from me at all. Um, uh, hmm. Anyways, if I remember correctly, I can't download it, guys. It's not opening up for me. Memory problem, and I can't sort out the memory issue. No, I got to go do some more deleting again. Yeah. But anytime somebody send me videos, whenever a person that send me videos, and these videos they take a lot of space, people don't realize that, and they keep sending out these videos, and so it fill up my little memory. 'Cause I don't have much memory here, and so once you do that, automatically I can't open a file. I have to delete something to get that done. All right. So, anyways, if I remember correctly, I want to tell you in Guyana, so the Guyana aviation, they have said basically that all the pilots on all the airlines, they're gonna have they want to put they're drafting a document, they're putting things in, they're gonna put something in law that are gonna make it mandatory for persons to basically observe their COVID-19 protocols, and if they don't, right? Okay, so all right, so basically it's just the headline I'm going to give you. Aviation Authority in Ghana to draft strict COVID-19 regulations, and it would have to be adhered by both the airlines and the pilots. And if they don't, they're going to have to they're putting in place, what do you call it there? Putting in measures where a person will be penalized if they do not adhere to the protocols in Guyana. They're getting very strict over there with regard to how they handle the COVID-19. Yeah. Okay, guys. That's it for me for today. Yeah. I will have more for you tomorrow. I'll have more for you tomorrow. But that's it for me for today. Yeah, I don't like problems, really don't like problems. I'll tell you. Yeah, and for every problem there's a solution, and my solution is to go and do some deleting. Which I will do when I'm through with this program. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, that is for me for today. I hope you learned something from what was said today. I know you have a lot. I give you a lot of information for you to go and mull over and think about right now based on what was said today. Right. Let me see the thumbs up for my program, man. It was a good program. Was it a good program, guys? Was it not a good program? Let me see your thumbs up if you enjoyed the program today, guys. Yeah. Yeah. And looking forward for tomorrow's program, right? Absolutely, at noon, at 12 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be on again. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. Yeah, I appreciate all of you, every single one of you. I thank you for spending this hour with me. I mean, time goes so fast when you're having fun, doesn't it? I can't believe it's already an hour since I've been here with you guys. Yes, it has been. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed sharing with you as a student of knowledge, sharing knowledge with my fellow students of knowledge. I hope you learned something from this. Please remember to share the link with your friends and family, okay? And like, when you give me a thumbs up, guys, that's the like, you're liking. That's how you like on YouTube by giving me a thumbs up for the program, right? So, and comment and subscribe, guys. Remember, if you have not yet subscribed, because many of you watch the program but you do not subscribe. If you have not yet subscribed, remember to subscribe to the channel Omega News. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Mwah. I really appreciate all of you guys. So as you go and to the remainder of the week, and as you go to continue doing what you're doing today, I hope if you're going to go on the road that you're going to practice your physical distancing, wearing your mask responsibly, and while you're home and on the road, if it is necessary for you to use your hand sanitizers, you do so, right? And you wash your hands with soap and water when you're home or where at a location where you can do so. Okay. Remember to keep your environment clean, germ-free. Okay, that is practicing infection control measures. And when you wear your mask, what you're doing, you're breaking the chain of infection, right? The COVID-19 cannot infiltrate your body and infect you, or you cannot infect somebody else if you have it, if you practice these measures, right? Remember to wear your mask responsibly, not for more than an hour or two. Okay, the maximum is 4 hours for persons who do not have underlying conditions. Remember, right? If you have any kind of comorbidities, talking about hypertension, diabetes, kidney problem, etc. You understand? This is very, and if you have respiratory problems like asthma, or any other kind of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, then you ought not to be wearing a mask for an extended period of time. You understand? It will only aggravate your situation. So ensure that if you're going to go out, not for more than an hour or two, right, where you're wearing a mask and you're back home. Okay? Okay. And remember, if you're 65 years and older, although I don't understand that one really, but it is what it is. That is the law. If you're 65 years and over, you must only go out once a day and you go and oversee your business and come back home. And remember, guys, curfew are still in effect from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. Okay. So whatever you do it and get back home by 9 p.m. Until I see you tomorrow, my guys, my beautiful people. I thank you again for spending this time with me. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at midday, God willing. So until then, remember to stay blessed and to be a blessing. Mwah. Love you. Bye.